A lot of people trust Ron Paul, and I'd probably vote for him and just write it in, even if he wasn't on a ticket, because I pretty much like what he says. That's honest fact. But I don't trust him. I don't care what his voting record says. The one thing is that really gets my interest is this. John F. Kennedy. John F. Kennedy didn't even try to do even a fraction of what Ron Paul says he's going to do. And look what happened to John F. Kennedy. That's why I don't trust it. I'm going to post this link, and this is where he's making some of these devil hand signs and stuff. And you know what? That doesn't mean a thing to me, to tell you the truth, because I don't know what that means. Somebody could be, maybe it doesn't mean a devil hand sign to him. He does the handshakes and all this other stuff, but I don't want to get in on that. But I'm going to post a link to this for some people that think that's some kind of proof of something. The way I look at it is, if he was really pissing off the elite, they would have set him up somehow on something, because there's always something. Or he would have been killed. There would have been some crazy thing, just like with JFK. So that's why I don't think he's legit. Sad to say, but, you know, I couldn't see him doing a tenth of the stuff he says. So I think he's all about, you know, he's an insider. That's what I think he is. It reminds me of the same thing when Ronald Reagan was running for office and George Bush was the VP. They're all in cahoots with each other. You know, that set up with Gorbachev stepping down from the Soviet Union. They all knew that was going on. Ronald Reagan making that speech, tear down this wall, talking to the Berlin Wall. That was all a setup. Newt Gingrich coming out of Georgia. You know, he's saying all the right things. Sounds like the same thing almost with Ron Paul, saying all the right things. Says he's going to shut the government down. I think that was in 1996, 1995, I believe it was, 1995. He wants to balance the budget. He'll shut the government down or whatever. Well, the guy, they're all playing to the crowd. They allow this type of opposition leader to take place, and that's what I think this guy is. I don't think he's legit. Not a nice thing to say. I know people want him to be legit and want him to fix everything, but I doubt it. I'm going to go on a couple other things because this is some stuff I picked up on. I don't think anybody else picked up on it, but I'm going to go into some things. I don't know if you ever remember of Congressman Trafficant. He was, he was an independent, and he was a Democrat, too. And he was such a independent thinking Democrat that he voted with the Republicans a lot of times. I like this guy. He was good to go. But I think the real thing that pissed people off was when he did this. And a trafficking champion, the unpopular cause of John Demjanjuk, whatever it is, Ukrainian-born auto worker from Seven Hills, who had been convicted in Israel and sentenced to hang for having been the brutal concentration camp guard Ivan the Terrible. Now, I heard different things about this Ivan the Terrible. He might have been some 18-year-old brainwashed kid at the time, and I really don't know. I mean, that's the one side I heard, but he might have been a bad guy. I don't know. But Congressman Trafficant, championed his cause. And that's when they found something wrong, and they went after him and they put him in jail. And, the one thing that gets me about Ron Paul is this. He says he would not aid Israel in a military action against Iran. Now, I would disagree with that, but because why does Israel need our help? We need to get out of their way. Let them do whatever they got to do. He would end all the foreign aid to Israel, too. So, it makes me wonder about this guy. I don't think he's legit. I think he's so He's so lopsided on everything. I think they would have took him out a long time ago. Now, in the case of Conduit, I don't even know if it mentions it in here any place, but it was there was only one guy in the Democratic Party that voted not to censor trafficking when he got caught on some things, and that was Gary Conduit. And he later turned out he was caught in an extramarital affair with the intern Chandra Levy, which was exposed when Levy disappeared in May 2001. Just my guess, but I think that was all a setup. I mean, if you piss off certain people, you're done. I mean, that's just the way it goes. So I got my doubts about Ron Paul. He's so like coming out with all this stuff, and it's all played to the audience, you know. Oh, you know, Ben Bernanke says gold is not money. Ha ha ha. I think they're playing I think he's playing people for a sucker, to tell you the truth. I don't buy into it at all. I'll give you another guy, Elliot Spitzer. Now, you know, I don't even want to say anything. You know, I mentioned some things about Israel and Jews, but I'm not saying nothing there. I'm saying there's power there. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying there is power there. You're going to mess with that stuff, they're going to come after you. So I'm wondering, how come Ron Paul's still in office? He's going to cut all the foreign aid to Israel. You know, I think it's a scam. I don't buy it. This is Elliot Spitzer. Now, Elliot Spitzer, he's Jewish himself, you know. Whatever. I mean, I don't care one way or another. Actually, I'm not that religious at all, but it looks like Elliot Spitzer wasn't very religious either. You know, he didn't have a bar mitzvah even. So, but it says that he went after the Gambino family in New York. That was like saying this was his legal career. He set up his own sweatshop in the city's garment district, turned out shirts, pants, and sweaters, and hired 30 laborers, and then he got trust to the Gambino family. And then he was able to bring down a lot of their operation through that. But this is definitely not the biggest thing he did, and it has nothing to do with why he got caught. Well, I say when he got caught with that prostitute later that set him up and got him out of office. Well, I say that was all a setup. I mean, they're all doing this stuff. That's what I say. I say they're all doing it. None of them are innocent. They got there's all kinds of dirt in every politician there is. So I think it had nothing to do with the Gambino setting him up with that or something. No way. But they don't mention anything else about his legal career when he was Attorney General. But I'll just take this straight off of Investopedia. This is the big thing I think he did. September 3rd, 2003, New York State Attorney General Elliot Spitzer filed a complaint against New Jersey-based hedge fund Canary Capital Partners. The complaint alleged that Canary Capital entered into legal agreements with multiple nationally known mutual fund companies to defraud investors. Now, just to give you a little background on this, I don't think, well, before Canary Capital did any of this stuff, it was cleared with all these attorneys, and they said they were told it was legal. Okay? I'm going to tell you flat out, they were told it was legal. In other words, people on the top are very aggressive. They think of money. That's what they think of, okay? They think of money. But when they did this, they were told it was legal. I'm just telling you that. That's how it was. And these people really aren't screwed up people, to tell you the truth. Because other fund companies such as PIMCO, which is, Bill Gross, agreed to permit a specific number of illegal trades. At least that's what they're stating here. Illegal trades in exchange for $25 million in long-term billable assets from Canary. While PIMCO shareholders paid for Canary's trades, PIMCO earned a fee on the $25 million it managed on Canary's behalf in funds that did not exchange in illegal activities, and it charged management fees to all the investors in the funds that Canary was defrauding, according to this. So, I know this is a big scandal, and I'm familiar with this place over here, Hearts. But, before they did this, it was set up that it was legal. And I want to point out that Elliot Spitzer did some screwy things. I mean, that was actually the biggest thing he did in his legal career, and I noticed it was left off of here. And later on he got caught with this prostitute, and then he had to resign from what do you call it? The governorship after he was attorney general. But he did a lot of stupid things when he was governor anyway. So I mean, I really don't care. But I'm just saying, if you piss off really powerful people, you're done with. And I'm looking at Ron Paul saying all this stuff. Basically, he wants to dismantle the entire military-industrial complex and just throw it out the door. And he's from Texas. The same place, George Bush is from. You think they can't put some kind of pressure on this guy if he wasn't real? I mean, you know what I mean? If he was real, they couldn't put some kind of pressure on him to get him out of office. I think he's just some kind of voice for the so-called, that's what they call him, the lunatic fringe. I think that's all he's playing. I think he's playing a game. I don't trust this guy. Sad to say, but I wouldn't give this guy any money. I'd vote for him, but I wouldn't give him a nickel. I'd buy silver. That's what I would do. And this was Spitzer. I don't know, same-sex marriage. I don't know how people feel about that, but whatever. But I guess that was controversial. But then here he used controversy, over the use of state police for surveillance. And he gave driver's license to all the undocumented immigrants, and they had to give them a different license because the Homeland Security didn't like it. Just handed out a bunch of driver's license that people walk in the country that aren't citizens, so they can go in airports and stuff. So this guy Spitzer was pretty screwed up anyway, But what I'm saying is, you take the case of Gary Conduit. He voted not to censor trafficking, and trafficking was protected that Ivan the Terrible, or whatever his name was. And I don't know nothing about this. I'm so I listen to all these stories about these Nazis and stuff like that. I don't even know what. I mean, probably half of them didn't even know what the hell was going on. That's what I think. But this guy was supposed to be so bad, so he defended him. So he pissed off the Israeli lobby or whatever it was. So he's done with. They found something on him. So I mean, and I'm not even saying it's like Jews in general. I'm just saying that. I mean, Spitzer was Jewish, right? They nailed him. He pissed off somebody who was powerful. That's all I'm saying. So in the case of Ron Paul, I can't see it. I mean, first off, he's really critical of Israel here, and he's basically going to cut off all their money and not do a damn thing if they got, attacked by Iran. If there's a bunch of missiles raining down on Israel, he's not going to do nothing. So I can't possibly see this guy, being popular over here in Israel. And the other number two is you look at the whole industrial complex. Cheney, Bush, Obama too, right? Everybody, right? They're all in on this stuff. It's big business racket. War's a big business racket. And this guy says he's just going to stop all that, and it's all going to be done with. I don't think it's legit. It's too crazy. It's too crazy. It's way beyond. It's way beyond. So I think the whole thing's probably a fake with him. I'd probably vote for him anyway, just for the hell of it. But he ain't going to win anyway, so the hell with it. But rather than give him money, I'd buy more silver. I think it's a bunch of garbage what's going on. And I'm going to post a link on this for people into these he does the handshakes and the hand signs and stuff, but to me that don't mean nothing. I just figure if he was really legit, they would have shut him up. I mean, you look at it, they shut up a New York governor and a couple congressmen, no problem. And John F. Kennedy. Look what happened to John F. Kennedy, right? At the height of his popularity, you know. And you know what? And I know you could say the lone gunman theory and everything, but that guy was executed by some powerful people because he pissed off a lot of people. And Ron Paul, the stuff he's saying is like 10 times more than what JFK was trying to do. So I don't think he's legit.